Okay. Hello, welcome everyone to the FMC IT class. This is session three, and you are welcome. I hope you've got your computers and your laptops or your tablets, because we're going to do some demonstrations as well. But before I continue, I would like to say Brother Godson is here with me as well. Brother Godson?
Hello.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're just going to continue from where we left off last 2 weeks, which is to look at the FMC. Well, sorry, it's going to be the session three. Okay. So we did session two last week. So today we'll continue with session three. Okay. We have the slides, please. Right. Okay. So beginners class, session three. Next slide, please. Right. Okay. So in this session, this is like a follow-on from where we had last week, which was looking at the actual PC itself or the laptop, going through the devices. So now we're going to be looking at what the computer itself can do. So one of the things, one of the major areas that we tend to look at is the internet. The internet, in a sense, in a nutshell, is just think of it as a connection of various computers. Okay, so one thing that we can do is to be able to connect computers together, and that's when you have something called a computer network. So the internet, in a nutshell, is a network of applications, files, and whatnot. Okay, so what we have here is we're going to be looking at the internet, basic internet surfing. Basically what that means is how you can actually surf the internet. So you go to the internet, you browse it. To browse means for you to be able to move to different places or different pages on the internet. We'll be looking at the internet browser software. So the internet browser software here would be what application you need to use to be able to get onto the internet. We'll be looking at internet favorites and bookmarks. So that's basically because the internet is a collection of different web pages. You can actually have something called favorites, so you don't have to keep on typing in the name, for instance, www. For instance, google.com all the time. You can click on the favorite and you will get to that, and that's your bookmarks. You also have Webmail, so we're going to talk a bit about Webmail. There'll be a demo on that, on what Webmail is and how you can use that. We also have Outlook, which we can also show, and YouTube. So that's just a brief list of what we would be doing today. Okay. Right, next slide, please. Right, so the internet. So as you can see, the World Wide Web, has a wealth of information which is increasing and evolving each day. So, like I mentioned briefly before, the internet itself is made up of all multiple computers that are interconnected. Yeah. So just like you have your own computer right now, or your laptop or your tablet, and I have one here, we are connected together through this live stream. And essentially, when you're talking about internet, that is what it is. It is a connection of multiple devices, and with that connection, you can share your different information. It could be your data. You could be sharing, for argument's sake, like email can be shared. Even things like your WhatsApp. That is also interconnected. So the internet itself, is that connectivity that allows you to be able to share information across. Okay, so, and as we say in this slide here, it is constantly increasing. So every time somebody buys a new computer and connects to the internet, it's adding to the wealth of information that's available each day. Okay, next slide, please. Right. Okay. So it's important important reminder here. Internet connectivity. He said you need to be connected on a device before you can use the internet. And just to add to that, when we're talking about devices now, I mean, the initial time when the internet came about, it was mainly made very large computers. But now, you have even watches that can connect to the computer. You have, small, very small devices that can connect to the to the internet rather. And, all these devices that connect together, they make up that internet. Now, it says a quick way to check is you can have a look at your computer. So if you look at your computer, let me just do a demo. Um, so if I switch, okay, sorry. Right, can you see my screen now? Yes, can you see? Got it? The screen showing? Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is my desktop, and I believe last week, Brother Goss did a wonderful job in actually going through the laptop or the desktop to show you what it looks like. So one of the things you can see here, this is the taskbar, or notification bar rather, and you can see here that I have a few icons. If I click on this arrow here, you will see there's the other hidden items. But the one I'm interested in is this particular one here, which has like some radiating, it's like a ripple, radiating effect. That is essentially your internet access. Okay, so if I click on that, you can see at the moment I'm connected wirelessly, and that's why it shows this kind of like a wave. So that is basically to show that we are connected to the internet. Yeah. So when you on your computer, you will have a list of, if you have a Windows 10 like I do have here, you will have a list of wireless entries. It might be just one in your case, because if you have one, if you don't have one, it could be that you don't have a wireless network router around, so that's why it's not displaying that. So don't be alarmed if you see that. If you don't see that, say it could be that you have a physical connection. Okay, so this is where it will be displayed. Okay, right. So if we go back to the slide again, please. Right. Okay. Thank you, Sister. Right. So one of the things we want to look at here is basic internet surfing. So with the internet, for you to be able to actually join this internet or connect to it, you need something called a browser. Okay, so a browser is a software or application really that enables you to connect to the internet. Okay, and there are so many different ones, but there are obviously some core ones that people generally tend to use. So if you go to your taskbar, the We've also got Google Chrome, which some of us use as well, and Safari tends to be for Apple devices. So I'll show you that again by a little demo. So if I go to my screen, you can see my screen here, and here I've only got one of the browsers. I've actually only got Edge. So you can see that on my screen. You can see that on my screen right now. That's that there. Or you can actually see on my desktop. I've also got Edge as well, Microsoft Edge. So if you double click on it, if I double click on this one, for instance, you can see it's launched a page, and that page is displaying. So I click on accept here. Is displaying a web page. Okay, this is the initial web page that I have. Now you can actually have your web page customized if you want to. You can have it customized, and you can save. You have your own home page and change it. So, for instance, if you like, I don't know, BBC. If I do it properly. So try to do the shortcut way. So www.bbc.com. Okay. So what I just typed this in what they call the address bar. So this place that I typed this in is called the address bar. So every time you want to search a page, you must type it in the address bar. And once you type a name, if you have a web page or website, click on enter, and it should now load the page. As you can see, a page is loaded, and I'm now connected to the internet. Okay, so I'm now connected to a web page. So I'm sharing this information is coming from BBC's computers somewhere in the world. Okay, they're displaying this information, and I now have access to that same information. And anybody else can connect from anywhere in the world and do that. Okay, so you can also, if I go to another one, for instance, maybe Sky. I can go to www.sky.com. Let's enter. It will now load Sky's website. Okay, so as you can see right now, sometimes you get all these pop-ups. You can see right now I'm loading Sky's website. Okay, so the Internet Explorer is what I now, in this case Edge rather, is what I've used to connect to the internet. Now, like as we said before in the slides, there are also other browsers as well. There's Chrome. I don't have that installed here, but there's Google Chrome that you can use to be able to browse the internet. And you can use Safari most of the times if you have an Apple device, so maybe a tablet, iPad, or a phone, or Apple Mac. You will have Safari as the main browser to use. You can still also use other browsers as well. There are other ones as well anyway, but the key thing to understand is that the browser is needed to be able to connect to the internet. So you cannot connect to the internet without a browser if you want to view web pages. Yeah, if you're not viewing web pages, you can connect different ways, but that's a bit beyond this class. Okay, right. So if I go back to the screen, there's the the slides. So as we can see, we can on the taskbar, which we showed you, on the desktop, you will have an icon that will be labeled Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome. You click on that, and that will work for you and take it to the internet. Okay. You can also go to the start menu. I believe last week, 2 weeks ago, you were shown that. Or you can also use Cortana to be able to just type it in Cortana, and it will find the browser for you. So let's just demonstrate that as well. So if we go to my desktop, as you can see here, this is my start. If I click on start, and if I scroll down my list here, I should be able to see Microsoft Edge. As you can see, there's Microsoft Edge here. Okay, if I click on it, it will take me to the internet, or I can click on the task bar, well, the actual start menu rather, here, and that will take me there as well. So if I click on this one, you'll see it takes me there. And if I go back and click on the start menu one, it clicks me there as well. So you can go that way, or you can actually just type in here. This is the Cortana. You can type in internet, and you can see it comes up. It will do a search in the computer, and also not just your computer, but also you can check the web as well for that kind of information. And you can see Microsoft Edge. Click on that, and it takes me there. So we can actually we have different ways to get to Internet Explorer. Okay, so we don't have all browser that you want to use. Okay, right. So if I go back to our slides, next slide, please. Right. Okay. So one of the key things for browsing the internet is that we need to be able to find information. If you think of it this way, the internet is a reservoir, if I put it that way, of information. There's so much information on there, but that information, you need to be able to find it. You need to be able to locate it. So it's important that there are certain things that you need to do before you get what you require. So in this case, you need to be very specific. So if you're looking for instance, We'll demonstrate this anyway, but if you're looking for, I don't know, maybe you want to get, I don't know, buy potatoes, you need to actually type the word potatoes for it to show you, maybe say where I can buy them from. Where can I buy potatoes in a specific area? Yeah, you can do that, right? So it gives you the ability, the browser gives the ability to do searches, okay? So in actual fact, the browser itself is something we call like a very large search engine, okay? So a search engine is a facility whereby you can actually go in and search throughout, to search the whole internet through this particular way. So I'll demonstrate that for you. Go back to my PC. If I go to the browser again, and I double click on that, as you can see, my browser's come up. Now I want to search. Can you see here? And this is Edge. Edge says here, search the web. So you can search the web here in this space here, or you can actually search the web in the address bar. So this is the address bar where you type the addresses, okay? So you can actually type, if I say, I use the word potatoes in wood green. Maybe buying potatoes, buying potatoes in wood green. Okay, so that's my search. If I press enter, it should now give me a list. This is now using another search engine called Microsoft Bing. That's Microsoft's own search engine where you can buy potatoes. So you can see here bags of potatoes growing at Amazon. You can buy plants. Now, what you do now is you now have to now scroll down and look for what you want to see if you can narrow it down to the same things you're looking for. I can see here, buy potatoes online, delivered to your door. Okay. If I click on that, that will take me to websites that will enable me to buy potatoes. And those potatoes, as you can see, we've got sweet potatoes here. You have different types of potatoes. So I can actually even select the one I want, and you follow through and make the order and put in your details, and they're going to deliver to your door. So all I'm just trying to show you here is that with the internet, through a browser, you can get information that you never knew about before, or information you're looking for. Okay, so this is just one website. Maybe you don't want to order it online. Maybe you can say, okay, let me call them. There's a number there that you can call and speak to someone. But it's important to know that all websites obviously are not the same. So everybody's website is different. So the whole idea is that you use your browser to search for the information you're looking for. That's the key thing to understand here. Okay, so let's close this and we go back to our demo. Sorry, our slides. Right, so in here, like we said, this says be as specific as possible. Like I was looking for potatoes, where to buy them for, and I put in the words I wanted. So again, as we hear in this one, it says if a specific name or place or topic you want to find, then you can use speech marks. So for instance here, if you want to look for, here we have green sea turtle. Then if you want to look for something specific, use speech marks. So I'll show you that. Okay. Right, okay. So we use the exact same thing. Green. Let's see. So you can see the pictures of green sea turtle is shown here. Very beautiful pictures. It tells you more information. So basically, you can use that. If you're looking for something specific, you can use it in quote marks, and it will give you what you're looking for. So there's so many different information. As you can see, it's a wide range of info that you can look at. You even have videos you can watch, click and watch, and give you more information. So the internet is a place where you can get a lot of information for research. If you're doing research, you can find out a bit more about turtles if that's what you want to do. So moving on from there, going back to the slides, you can also get definitions of things. Now, one of the core search engines is something called Google. So if I go to google.com, you can get definitions there. So I'll just show you that. I go to Google. So again, we get to the internet by clicking on the browser. And now I want to go to Google and use Google search engine. Okay, so I'll just type in Google here, google.com, and now I am on Google search engine. Okay, I type in there define, and what will we define then? Let me get the exact one. Human, yeah, was it human? Right, I put it in my screen. Define human. There you go. So as you can see, it uses, so Google has got some algorithms working in the background that, so once you type in this particular syntax, it would give you a lot of information about definitions of human. So you can see there, it will even say something like, if I click on this, human. Can you hear it? It says human. So it'll give you a pronunciation, yeah. So you can do that in case you don't know how they pronounce it. Give you definitions. You can see there an adjective relating to or characteristic of humankind, a noun, human being. They even have some people that look like I don't know whether it's apes or what, but that's their definition of humans. So you've also got different dictionary definitions. You can click on one of these, for instance, and it gives you the different definitions. You got adjectives there, what human means, the noun, and so it gives you a wealth of information, as you can see, that you can get from just type in a definition in the browser. Now, if you notice, I clicked on this page. Sorry, go back in again. I did a definition of human and it took me to another page. So when I did define human, oops, go back. Define, come on, human. It gave me that definition. Now, once I click on something, if you notice, it will take me away from the browser and take me to the page that I'm looking for. So it's important that we understand that. Click on this link. This is what you call a link. When you move your mouse over it, it will change color and you'll see like a hand on it. So you click on it and that will now take you to that web page you're looking at. So in this case, Merriam-Webster's. Yeah, that's Merriam-Webster's web page, and I now have the page I clicked on. This is now a different page from the Google. So the Google is just like a helper. Will help you to get to the pages you're looking for. Okay, right. So if you come out of there and go back into our slides. Right, again, you can do the same again for define goals. You can also find out time in another country. Let's try that one. So time Singapore. So if I copy this, I can just type it out. And again, so if I type in here, Google, time, hold on, Singapore. That's what the time is in Singapore. As you can see, it's 9:23 p.m. Yeah, they're 8 hours ahead of us, and that's the time in Singapore. Okay, current time. Okay, you can do time in if I say time in Bangladesh, then it's 7:23. You can see that 6 hours ahead of us. If I go behind us and do time in Canada, you can see it is 8:23 in the morning. Okay, so it's a way to tell you and show you time. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. You can do like conversions. You can do all kinds of things within this media here. This what's called search bar. You know, it's really really good. Okay, let's go back. Next slide, please. Next slide. Right, okay, so we've already demonstrated this already, so you can see some of these are the different types of browsers you can use. So at the moment I've been using Edge, that's the one I have installed on this computer, but you can also install Chrome or Mozilla, Safari, Opera. I mean, there's so many different ones, but the main ones tend to be either Microsoft Explorer, Edge, Chrome. Firefox people do use, but it's not commonly used. These ones are also not commonly used as well. Safari is mainly used for Apple devices and products, so that's the one you will use. But you can still use Chrome on Apple, and so I think IE as well on Apple, so that's still fine. Okay, right. Next slide, please. Right. Okay. So now we're going to be looking at favorites and bookmarks. Why favorites? So favorites are a way for you to be able to remember the different addresses that you store. Now, if you think of it in a way, if it's like an address book, it's just like on your phone, you have a list of contacts. Yeah, because if you have to dial the person's number each time, you know, we're a very long-winded process. So it's the same with this. We have something called favorites. Okay, so the favorites enable you to be able to bookmark the place you've been, and you can store them. So let's just demonstrate that. So I'm using Edge, as I said before. So there are different ways. If you use Google Chrome, it has a different way of doing its own as well. Okay, well, let's just demonstrate on Edge. Right, so if I go to my browser again, and let's say, for instance, I want to go to BBC, like I did before. So BBC.com, if I press enter, it will take me to BBC's website. Now, I like this, and I want to have that as a favorite. If you have a look here, you can see I have favorites. That will show me my list of favorites. But this one here is add this page to favorites. So you can just click on this little star. It has like a plus sign there. If you click on it, it will now say add this page to favorite. Now, looking at this page here, or this screen here, you can see it says the name. So this is the name that I will give it. Yeah, you can name it anything. Just like if you have somebody that you want to save on your phone as a contact, you can name them whatever. You can, maybe the person's name is James. You can say Mr. James and put their surname, James Jones, for instance, or you can just say J. It depends on what you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want to call it, yeah. Or you can say Mr. J. Yeah, I can say this is BBC Home. It gave me a suggestion. I can change it and say, okay, I want to call it, I don't know, BBC, for instance. Okay. Now that's the name I want to call my favorites. Every time I click on my favorites, it will take me to this website. I can also come and store it in a particular place. So I'll leave it as it is right now. So it will store it in what you call the favorite bar. Okay. So once you've done that, press done, and that's it. If you notice, this page is now in my favorites. That's why it's now blue here. It's got a blue star. Okay. Now if I go to my list of favorites, I should now see BBC as one of my favorites. Okay. So now to demonstrate that, if I close this and I go back to my Edge browser, if you notice now I've loaded the browser, but how do I now get back to my favorite that I've stored? If you take your mouse onto this star here, click on it, and now what you do is you click on BBC, click on it here, and it takes me straight there. So I don't need to go and type the name. Now, maybe BBC is a very simple one, but let's say, for instance, let me go further. So if I go to sports, sports is on right now, click on weather, and I want to know what the weather is like in Inverness, and I want to know that particular one. Let me see something else. So if you notice, what's happening here is from BBC, I'm going to different pages. Yeah, there might be different computers. If I want to go to a specific area, maybe here, okay, it's taking me somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. We can use it still. Click on that. Okay, fine. If you notice, look at how many letters you have to type to get to this particular web page. Yeah. So what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that this is the benefit of having favorites. So you can now come here, save this page. You put the long name there. I can call it I don't know, WMO. You just call it WMO, World Meteorological, whatever it says there. Press done, and now it's put that for me there. Now, if I come out of this page, and let's say first I have to go back to it, I will either have to type all those letters that you saw there, or I can go to my favorites and click on WMO, and it will take me straight to where I left off. Do you see that? So that's the beauty of it. So I don't have to type in https://public WMO and all these slashes and everything. You just use favorites to simplify your surfing on your browser. Okay, so I'll come out of that. Let's go back to the slides. Right, okay, so next slide, please. Right, okay, so another important aspect of this lesson we want to show is webmail. Now, I'm sure all of us online so far have heard of something called email. It's been around for a long time. And email is simply a way to send information, in this case, messages, personal messages, to a specific audience or specific people. Now you can send emails to one person or a group of people, but the webmail here essentially just means the mail that you can use over the internet. So it's a webmail. So basically, you don't need to be on your computer at home. You can actually be at someone's, maybe a friend's house, or you could be in a public place, and you can use the internet to get to your email. Okay, so in this case, we're going to demonstrate one called Gmail. So Gmail stands for Google, as you can see here, Google Mail. We're going to demonstrate that one and how it works. Okay, so it will be a demo between myself and Brother Godson. I would send him a message, because obviously with emails you need to have someone that you're sending a message to. I'll send him a message and he will respond back. Okay, right. Okay, so let's log on to our Google Mail account. So if I minimize this, and I did have right. Okay, let's get to Google. So if I go to Google, right. Okay, can you see the Google there? That's great. Okay, no, hold on. Okay, right. So what I need to do now is go to Gmail. And what we have done is we have set up a user called FMC demo user, just for the sake of this demo. Okay, so I've gone to Google and I've clicked on, let me go back again, maybe I was moving too fast. All right, okay, so let's start again right from the beginning. Right, so you click on your browser, double click. I've got to my browser, and if I type in Google, so in this case, just do www.google, it comes up, press enter, Google has come up. Then you click on, as you can see, on this side, I've got Gmail. Maybe you might not have that, and what I want to do is now to sign into my Gmail. So that's a shortcut for me again. I can click on that, or I can click on sign in here, and it will now tell me, what do you want to use? So at the moment, because I've logged onto this before, it remember that I've logged on, and as you can see, I'm signed out. So I'm not logged into this particular web page. And it's very important to understand this, because if you use Webmail, think of it this way: anybody can also have access to that computer, and if you leave your email logged in, that means they will also they will have access to your email address and account. So think of it like this: it's like if you have a letter, personal letter, but you open the letter and leave it open, on the streets, anybody can pick it up and see what was written to you. It's the same thing. Okay, so that's why when you finish what you're doing on the webmail, it's very important to log out. Okay, so if I click on this now, you can see it says, well, we need to log in because I have not logged in before, or I've logged in before, but I'm logged out. So if I type in my password, it's private, so you won't see it. So okay, and if I click on next, it'll take me to that. Now, if you notice, it says that it's been 6 months since my last visit. No, I just logged on now, so it's not 6 months. Right, okay, so you can see now the page looks very similar, isn't it? But there's something that you will notice that is different. I now have, I don't know if you noticed before, but I now have an F there. So this F is the first letter of my username, which is the account I've set up, and that shows that I'm logged in. Okay, when I log out, this F will disappear, right? So if I click on uh, this, they call it the chevrons. If I click on that, you can see a list of applications there. Whoops, come back out of there. This is, sorry, I jumped too fast. Right, if I go back out again, now you can see Gmail. Okay, so that's what I want to connect to. So if I click on Gmail, it will now take me to my mailbox. Okay, so here you can see on the left hand side is my inbox. So anytime an email is sent to you, it will come into your inbox. You can, if I scroll, I think they have a scroll here, isn't it? Is it more? Yes, click on more, and you can scroll down. And you can see all the different items here. So you have inbox, anything you send, if you want to look for it. So if you send an email, so if you say, where has my email gone? You'll go to send and it will show you what has been sent. Nothing there, but you'll see when we demonstrate. If I click on more again, now if you're typing and you didn't finish typing and you leave it, you can leave it. It will store it in draft, and when you come back, you can continue again. And you've got other things there like chats, all mail, spam, whatnot. So, but the one I want you to look at today is inbox. Okay, now the inbox is where all emails will come in. So I want to type an email to Brother Godson, who is with me here. So I'm going to compose. You click on compose. Now it's different for each system. This is the webmail. This is Gmail's own. Outlook will do a different one, which is different, completely different, but it's the same kind of principles. Okay. So if I click on compose, as you can see, it says new message. Now the first important thing is that it needs to know who are you typing this message to, because without an address, you can't post a letter. Right. So if we say to Brother Godson, I happen to know his email address. So he is Godson Norum at Faith Miracle Church org.uk. That is Godson's address. Okay. It's a long address, but that is where favorites come in to help as well. Okay, but we'll discuss that later. So now that's the two. So that means I now have an address I want to send it to. Now think of it as your own personal home address, but this is now an electronic mail address. Email stands for electronic mail. Okay. Now subjects, what am I sending to him? I'll just say hello. I want to say hello to him. Okay. So what this subject means, so what he will see is he will see an email from this address, the FMC demo user, and the subject will be hello. That's what he will see. Then this part here is the body of the email. So I can now write, I just wanted to say hello to you. Oh, if I spell properly, hello to you. And please reply back when you get, or you can give a suggestion as well. That's good. Thank you. Okay. Right. Now I finished my message and I want to send it to, if you notice, he has saved it in draft because maybe he thinks I haven't finished. If you notice here, I have draft and I have number one, which means if I stop this and I don't send it, if I want to resend it, I go back to draft and I continue typing. Okay. So I'm happy to send it. So all I will do is just press send and it's gone. Now, if you say, where has my email gone? The first thing to do is check your sent items. So if I go to sent items, if I click on sent here, I can see, it has gone, but it has actually been delivered to Brother Gosson because it's entered here. If you don't see it here, it might be in draft. If it's not in draft, then maybe you've lost the email. You might need to retype it again. So I'll wait for Brother Gosson to reply because I asked him to help me to reply when he gets the message. So he's doing that as we speak. Huh? It hasn't come through. Okay, sometimes let's go slow on the internet. It takes a bit long, but yeah, we'll get through it. So he's waiting for the email to come through. Another thing again, which is good, is that you can send to, like if I want to post an email, a letter to you, I can only post to one address, but I can send to so many different people at the same time. So you can send to groups, or you can send to different people, and they will get the same email. Instead of you having to type out the letter all different times. If I want to send it to 3 people, I can send it to those 3 people. Right. Okay. So Bergosin didn't get that. You got it? Not yet. Okay. Let me send it to myself as well. I have another email address. So if I go, but in fact, I'll show you something else. He hasn't got it yet. So let me send the same message. Now I can retype this message again. But I don't want to retype it. I want to send the same message to myself now, to my own church email. So what I will do in that case is there's something called here, reply or forward. I want to forward it to myself. I want to forward this email to me. So if I press forward, and if I now type in the name, what do you want to forward it to? To me. So it's okay. As you can see, it comes up because I've typed it before. If I now press reply when you get this, please. You got it? Okay, Bergotten has gotten it. So as he's sending, I will just do this, press send, and now it's gone again. If you notice, Bergotten has responded to me. So my inbox has now got 1 inside, but I'm going to respond to the email I sent to myself so that you can see that I also received the same email. So let's have a look at my inbox. I'm looking on my phone now. I'm looking for my email and just waiting for it to come. I can see it. Right, so I'm going to now press forward or reply, in this case, because I'm now replying to that. And if I say received, okay, received, okay, and put a smiley face there. I couldn't find a smiley face. Okay, there is. All right, so that means I'm happy. Okay, and I now press send. So if you notice, you will see here it will change to 2 when that comes through. Sometimes you can do something called a refresh. The page needs to refresh by itself. Sometimes it does it. Is it gone? Okay, so if I do refresh, click on this refresh here, it will now refresh the page and see, okay, it hasn't come yet. But you can see, Brother Godson has responded. You see that? It says, hello, thanks. So the email I sent to him, he responded. Sorry, inbox. Okay, there you go. So now, I think they're both there now. There you go. Can you see? So I typed this email. Baragonson responded. And also you can see the one that I responded as well. So you can see the two of them. That's from Brother Godson and that's from me. And you can see I said received okay, the smiley face. Yeah. So that shows you how email works. So you can send messages to multiple people. You can send at once. I can send to, maybe if we can do one demo, don't know how much time we have, to send to multiple people. You can send to a group. It all depends. There's so many different things you can do. But the key thing to understand is with the email, webmail, once you finish doing it, very important to log off because it's a public place. If you're on a public computer, someone else can come and see your personal emails and you don't want that. Okay, so to log off, what we need to do is come here, click on the F, and you can see here it says sign out. I press sign out, and I am out. You can see there it says sign out, so I'm signed out, so I'm no longer in my mailbox. Okay, all right. Okay, so if I go back to our demo, okay, next screen, please. Outlook, okay, with Outlook, okay, that's to do with it's similar kind of thing again, like the Gmail. I don't think we've got a test account. We did set up one. Okay. So basically, it's just very similar to what we displayed before, but this is obviously Microsoft's own type. So they have their own webmail. Unfortunately, I don't have an Outlook to show you here on this particular machine. But it's the same thing. So you have your inbox, as you can see, you have sent items, you have drafts, all the things that I showed you in the Gmail will be listed here, but just Microsoft's own method of doing it. Okay, so it's the same thing there. Next time around, maybe when we do the next lesson, we'll actually have a demo account to be able to show you Outlook on that one. Right, next slide, please. Right, YouTube. Okay, wow. So this is one of the ones that we're now moving into video. So one of the good things about internet is that you can also view what videos. I mean, I'm sure most of us use WhatsApp and stuff like that. You see a lot of things being displayed. So with YouTube, again, it's a website. But on that website, it opens you up to see so many different things. And the great thing about YouTube now is that you can also start to even show yourself online. So if you want to publish yourself, if you want to be a new star, you can do that and people will watch you. But you have to be very careful because as you display yourself, make sure that you're displaying yourself in a good manner. Very, very important. But the good thing to understand here is with YouTube, especially with the church, like we can see the benefit of it. We are able to watch, the church service online. So we'll have a look at that, and that will probably help us to get a picture of YouTube. So how do we get to YouTube? So again, remember the first port of call once you want to get to the internet is to go to the browser. Okay, so if I can use the same one, I'll close this one down and open. Now you can see here, I've got one page, is another page here, it's the same one. This one is it's called tabs. Okay, so if you click on a tab, it will take you to the browser again. So some of you having to go to open it all the time, you can click on tabs and open it within the same browser session. Now, if I go to YouTube, type in there and you can see it comes up YouTube. I just press enter. It takes me to the YouTube web links. So here I can actually go straight to any category I want. I can go to movies or music or gaming or sports, but I want to go to the main page. I just click on YouTube here, and you can see, as you can see here, it will show me a list of videos. All kinds of videos can be shown here, all different types. because that's what it is, a collection of different videos that people saw up there. So now if you want to look for Faith Miracles Church YouTube, you come to the search bar at the top here, and we type in there, for instance, Faith Miracle Church. You can see we are showing up there. Click on that, and wow, straight away you can see, oh, he's even displaying us here. You can see me there, and we're doing the IT demo. Also, you can see the service that we had today, Family Class Sunday. In case you missed it, you can just come to YouTube and watch it again. So you click on this to watch. Simple, click on that, and you can see it starts to show. It's playing. If I just scroll across here, you can see this is the service. So wow, all of a sudden I can have service again. If I scroll again, you can see Pastor Moses preaching. You can even see the messages that people sent. So you can actually watch the service again just by going to YouTube, just by two links, So it's a wonderful blessing. So if I minimize, put a stop to that. So just by going to YouTube, making a search on Faith Miracle Church, I can actually go and see the message that was preached today. I can also say, okay, if I go back again, search, and I can go to previous ones. I can go to maybe something that was preached 1 year ago, or a month ago rather. If I click on this one, the Breakthrough Summit, click on that, and if I click there just to show you, you can see these are the prayers that we prayed in Breakthrough Summit. So to show you briefly how we can go to YouTube and we can view, all that we have uploaded up there. Every service, you can go there and view it there and watch it again. So it's a wonderful thing. Okay, so just to give an example. So there's so many different things. I just showed you Faith Miracle Church, but you can look for other things as well if you're looking for that. If I minimize that or close it down rather. And if we go back to our slides. Okay, right. Okay, I think we've come to the end of the session, and there's also a questionnaire. Oh, it's in the Gmail. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. There's a questionnaire as well that is sent. So it's sent on that email. Okay. So if I go to the email, the Gmail account, so Google. There's a questionnaire that I need to read for you. Sign in. Okay, so Gmail. Right, so there's a questionnaire that was sent by my godson. Right, let's see. Okay, so we have a questionnaire. So what we would like you to do is just to give us, just to help. This will help us feedback, so that we can know whether we are going in the right direction, whether we are too fast or too slow, or we are giving you too much information, or you don't know what we're talking about. So it'd be good for us to get a general overview of how you think. So this FMC IT training survey, called survey. So if you can answer this, so they'll answer this and send it to the. It'll be online. Okay, right. Okay, so it'll be online for you from tomorrow. Okay, right. Okay. So tomorrow you will get this survey. It will be online tomorrow. So we'd like you just to, as you can see here, we'd like you to give us some feedback, because it helps us to tailor the sessions to be specific for you and help you. Okay. So it'll be good for you to be able to go through these. 6 questions, I believe. Yes, 6 questions. Talking about your overall evaluation so far, the structure, the demos used, whether they're relevant or not, the materials presented, whether they were easy to understand, how you can apply it, and how could you improve your experience? So, just simple questions, but we like to have that when you have a moment. Okay, I will be coming out to you tomorrow, so please look out for it, and you will respond as soon as you can. Next 2 weeks. Oh, you got the next 2 weeks to do that. So I think we're coming to the end of this session. We'll just minimize this. The next session will be next 2 weeks time. Next 2 weeks time, next Sunday. That's going to be the 21st, right? 21st of March. Sorry, March, February. Pushing ahead now. 21st of February. So it'll be good for you to be ready. Ideally, we'll have the questions. You'll be able to, if you have any questions, any feedback, please let us know, and we'll see how we can best cater for you. Yeah, I would like to say thank you for giving us your time and your audience. I know that we started a bit late because we had one or two challenges, but we pray that next time around will be stress free and you'll have a wonderful time. And God bless you and have a wonderful Sunday. Amen.